Greetings everyone, please give mode to make sure everything's set on up. Hopefully everything works right today. I've been having issues with network today. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Let's see now. Looks like YouTube is going, Twitch is going, Rumble is going. Looks like Kick is going, and looks like Twitter is going. Looks like everything's online. And live chat windows. There we go. Oh, that's good. And let's see, what else am I missing? Oh yeah, activate this here so I can move around the camera controls with my WSD. Keep the CO bar over there. I think everything's good to go. Give me another moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good. There we go. Yeah, I had a bit of network issues today, but I think it's all sorted out. So hopefully everything is gonna work just fine. So let's go get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advance Wars by Web replay. Spawn bottom right side is the Yellow Comet Sasha. We got Mech Donald. Spawn top left side is the Cobalt Ice Hawk. We got Bluefy, I think. Either way, let's get started. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport, no seaports, 2 comm towers, so 1 for each player. Both players do start with initial spotting black boat here, which will be displaced by a simple artillery piece unit there, which could take time to clean up these pipes as well. This one's I see pretty common break-in. I think this one's not as common, but still pretty nice. It will help reduce the exit time out of this base here by 1 forest. Down to a plane, which is better for tracked vehicles, and good for wheeled vehicles as well. I apologize, I'm going to need to adjust my microphone a brief moment. I have a bit of a wind shield in front of my microphone because I put a lot of air into my words. And we do have initial tank by Hawk. And Sasha goes for her own tank as well. Sasha, of course, gets plus 10% income, while Hawk does have plus 10% firepower. We got 12,100 versus 8,000. That extra income is going to be very useful, able to pump out a decent amount of extra tank skills to it. Another tank deployed out over here. Now this infantry unit will likely get interrupted against this tank. Sasha's putting this tank up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if this tank does strike this infantry unit there, this tank will retaliate. Not as well as a Kindle tank, but it will do just fine. And looks like he does decide. Ooh, look at that precise move there. See this? This keeps it out of this infantry's vision range, which is this. So this was a stealth deployment to that tank, into that forest there. Very nice. Additionally, this player probably did count the number of tiles where a likelihood of a tank would be. After all, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one must become over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So possibly a tank could be here or here. In this case, and push forward right here is the farthest. And then in range of getting back on top of that city if it would be interrupted. Hawk, of course, was smart enough to put the tank in a good stealth position there. This tank was not revealed and went this way, so it was out of vision range entirely. So Hawk still has no eyes in his tanks. The best thing he could do is to keep this idle in this forest, but it's not a perfect option. Because after all, if an infantry unit spots it, it will get double tap, possibly double tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, nope, it looks like this tank's out of range. This tank would be in range. So this infantry may try to scout out the forest, or may not. A lot of capturing properties there. Both sides capture the comm tower. Tank does interrupt the capture up here. This tank appears to be out of range. The reinforcement tank's a bit far away. And likely, and the reason why Sasha went for the tank on this factory here, because the Black Boat does spot this nearby tile as well, since I just forgot when I was counting tiles there as well. So there is a guesstimate if Sasha was trying to do a self-deployment. It's that infantry unit there. I'm going to start the flip. Do a flip! You have a recon here, double recon by Sasha. Hawk's artillery is going to be behind to displace this pipe seam from existing. Remove it from its existence because it's a crime for it to exist. Does spot the tank there. And does spot both of these tanks in a moment. Takes out a couple of infantry units there. Some constellation prize. This recon could be retaliated upon. Of course, Sasha just keep her vision or units out of the vision range of the tank. And if the tank does track the recon, it will be a good trade for Sasha. Hopefully Hawk does not take the bait, because it seems like a pretty obvious bait. Even if it's not obvious bait, if it was planned to be bait, it can at least still give a good cover. Turn your disadvantage into advantage. Does take out the recon there with the tank of a different tank on top of the city there. Takes out the pipe seam there, and now got these tanks on push way forward. Got a very good core of tanks here. 5, technically 6 include this one here is there. And 2 more tanks on the field by Hawk. And a bit of a gamble for both players, not going for a anti-air, because the chance of battlecopter is ever so likely. Sasha could, with our cast vision, we know battlecopter would be very nice. Of course, that's with cast vision. We have 20/20 vision. These players do not. Recon artillery mech, 7,000 in the bank with 20,000 in income. There could be a Neo tank next turn. Neo tank costs 22, leaving approximately 5,000 left over. So a lot of possibilities. Maybe bomber and have a bit of fun. A bomber right now will probably be on a little bit overkill side. Well, I can't blame anybody for going for bomber, because bombers are good. Speaking about battlecopters, we got now a Hawk battlecopter. Recon interrupts the flip. Doesn't think that Wei has 4 captured progress remaining. So even that's 1 health, again, short amount of time, we'll clear that up. Mech and artillery double taps the pipe seam there. That's interesting. It is fitting that Sasha goes for mechs. After all, Mech Donalds. And we do have medium tank recon anti-air. I thought it was going to be something a little bit heavier. We do now have the market crash available. Maybe she didn't go for bomber because the Black Boat would spot it. Tank, infantry. There goes pipe seam. Medium tank can get out of there. And that also means a stealth deployment by the medium tank. After all, the medium tank here would move the same distance, but would be spotted. And putting medium tank over here is just going to be very painful. Sasha has gone for anti-air to count out any possible battlecopters, which there's of course 1 in the field. We may see a market crash by the end of this turn. She could. It's Hawk's power and or superpower. Hawk should, if he has the opportunity to deploy out his power, he should deploy out his power. Because market crash is going to be nearly guaranteed. There's a market crash there. Risk the turn or deploy it. I think deploying was a good call by Sasha. After all, we got all these tanks in range of the tanks. So the chance of a black wave was highly likely next turn. Or this turn. And now we've got a pretty sizable conflict there. 2 of Sasha tanks are knocked out. 3rd one gets hit. 4th one gets hit. And that was far better. That must have been a higher luck roll as well. Granted, it was on top of roads rather than plains. I'm curious. Let's see now. When it comes to a full health tank that's on top of plains, it would do 50 to 60 damage. So a max luck roll would actually get an additional point of damage. But if it's on top of a road, and that one went down to 8 health. This one must have hit the infantry units as well. It must have been wounded before hit because it was not guaranteed to get a extra point of damage. That one had a fraction of damage onto it. Maybe it was the one that hit the infantry over here. That may be possible. Tank, infantry, battlecopter. Now think about it, I don't think there was actually enough energy there charged up for Black Wave, but better safe than sorry. And Black Wave right now would have been not half bad, heating up with 8 health tanks and 9 health tank. Not to mention 1 pullable damage is always quite nice. It looks like Hawk is losing a decent number of tanks here as well. Right now we do have 107 versus 95, and these values tend to change when it changes turns. Artillery striking, and another market crash there. In this case, it will be fully consumed, so not a bad market crash. So I could have waited till the next turn in order to get the +10/+10. End of turn, Sasha ends turn for 128, Hawk starts turn for 92. So Sasha has a pretty good advantage right now. Recon strikes infantry. Tank strikes tank. 1 health tank does fall back. Does split up the damage to try and wound everything. Battlecopter does strike, but I believe it's in range of the anti-air. Yes, it is. 5 tiles away. Tank for recon. So this anti-air will get a pretty good shot. And definitely striking this plains house is probably the best option. After all, it will allow you to get a unit to hit the nearby tanks. You don't need the nearby spaces as well. Medium strikes and 9 health tanks as well. Get a nice 1-2 punch there. Another medium tank advancing. We've got a 3rd medium tank here as well. So we've got heavy armor being deployed in the field. Black Boat does go down. And Hawk is getting pretty close to a Black Wave. If he can squeeze out Black Wave next this turn, he should. Artillery's out of range in medium tank. With his good hits there. Market crash is available. The thing as well, I don't think there's many things who could get engagements on to hit to get a Black Wave. The only thing that could possibly get is sacking a tank onto the medium tank, which is probably not worth it. Medium tank infantry deploys a medium tank counter medium tank, doesn't realize there's more medium tanks. So I have a feeling there's going to be a market crash turn, but before, at the start or end, not sure. Could pop it immediately to get +10/+10. Could, and I don't think it will be full power. There will not be any. There will be leftover energy for our Hawk, so it's probably best to use it. Now, depends. You want to keep your own power charge up? It's probably better to get your own power charge up. Goes back to medium tank there and pops a market crash. So it's going to be pop it. Oh, nice precise calculation. Got some damage on in. I didn't realize how close it was. She did store up a little bit of funds there. She's at 27,000, so we may see a Neo Tanko Bomber. She's just definitely gone for a Battlecopter, anti-air, tank, and infantry, so no heavy asset. But she has a good number of good core medium tanks in the field. Right now she has 143,000. Hawk's turn for nice even 100,000. And there are units fractional health, so nice even 100,000. But he's behind about a turn or two. Sasha's improved income being very valuable right now. And she also has 2 property advantage as well, so effectively making a 4 property advantage. No big conflict. Double anti-air base skip. Tank strikes the Recon. Recon gets MG'd. Does get down. Recon spots and does spot the battlecopter there. Tank strikes the other tank there, trying to soften them up. Anti-air just advancing to provide some coverage, anti-air coverage against this battlecopter. And that's the only battlecopter in the field, so Sasha's getting pretty lucky she spotted that early. Some kills there. I probably would have started capturing while I was trying to finish off 1 health infantry unit there. It's unlikely a 1 health infantry unit would interrupt a infantry capturing on top of the city. Recon, battlecopter, tank, infantry. So we do have a number of battlecopters being summed out by Sasha. A lot of good kills there by Hawk. Sasha almost has enough for another market crash. She may pop it this turn. If Sasha's not too aggressive this turn, then she could wait till the following in order to maximize this capability. Artillery, artillery, infantry. And leaves 2,000 in the bank. Right now her next mark crash will cost 28,000, as will the Hawk's power, which is 45, so still pretty cheap about the market crash. Get some interrupts there. Good strike there. That probably will not be flipped. Medium tank on medium tank. Yep, definitely going to be a market crash this turn. If she does not market crash, Hawk must use Black Wave. In fact, immediately is probably the best answer as well. She does pocket market crash there. Artillery, recon, infantry, battlecopter. Hawk does have 2 anti-airs in reserve. Strikes the medium tank there and falls with a good shot. Medium tank, infantry, infantry. And this is, I think, the original mech that did strike the pipe seam here. Getting some good hits. Recon's almost out of fuel. Mech does get a good strike there, finish off the tank. Got this artillery piece in range, also low on ammo, so that artillery piece has been quite successful. Spots the artillery and will destroy it, or at least knock it out. Black Wave will likely be summoned this turn, which would be quite nice as a number of wounded tanks you get a little bit of value from. Mech, recon, infantry, and decides to skimp out deploying to avoid the Black Wave repairs. And Hawk definitely needs to eye his Black Wave of soon. Sasha insert of 153, got 93 for Hawk. And it goes up to 98,000, so it did get a decent amount of value recover there. Sasha gets called down to 137, and now let's see how well this goes. Molten Tank strikes there. We do now have a mark crash available. Best save up power charge. Hawk course gets +10/+10 this turn. Anti-air strikes the mech. Anti-air strikes the artillery. We've got a lot of stuff on the front line for Sasha as well. And this is probably going to be Hawk's only power this entire game. After all, the chance that now Sasha has a full turn to get some power charge going. She has 112 on the field versus Hawk's 110, so she's about a turn ahead, though she did skimp out last turn, has 37,000 in bank. There's a lot of powerful assets she could go for. Medium tank strikes anti-air, finish off the air of the tank. Anti-air strikes our battlecopter. Medium tank strikes anti-air. Recon finish off anti-air. Infantry, guns, artillery piece. Now her battlecopters can swoop on in. She has multiple battlecopter region, and Hawk has only anti-air back at home. Drop some captures over there. Neo tank, so a lot of mobile assets quickly reinforce the front line. Then some outlying infantry units there, minor victories, and Hawk has resigned. The Zangrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Oops, wrong button. Oh, that was this replay. There we go, that shall do. By the way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars. Wait, why did you do that intro? Spawn with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the left side as the Gray Sky Kindle got Narbal. Spawn on the right side as the Purple Lightning Eagle we got Arcist. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. We do have, of course, infantry being pulled in the field. And also took time on way to the black boat. This map appears to be just a 2-base map, not a 3-base map. So there's probably going to be a higher number of battlecopters. We do also got a pair of comm towers in the field, but safe comm towers. There's also a good amount of roads in the map, so recons wouldn't be half bad. Though there are some speed bumps in the form of forests. And the more I look at it, I think this map doesn't have too many properties. So there may be a little bit more lower income. We have an early anti-air by Kindle, and even though there is no vision of battlecopter, excuse me, on the map, so I'm not sure why there is an anti-air. And Hawk goes for, or Eagle does go for a battlecopter. Infantry tank up north. Now looking at it as well, there's a bit of a unique dynamic. Your stuff is down south, but your HQ is off to the right, so the HQs are relatively exposed. So with a black boat on top, it'll take a bit of time to displace it, but leaving up artillery unit could be possible. Drops the catch there, got now another battlecopter pair infantry. And I don't know why these infantry engagements don't seem like they're going all too well, are they? Kendall did get, of course, a pretty good retaliation strike there, since it's firing from urbanized property. Tank can reach out to here, so this unit can easily be picked off by this anti-air. And tank gets on top of that city there. Goes in range of this tank, but of course, she does have the retaliation effect of plus recent firepower from urbanized terrain. Anti-air will need to fall back. There's way too much there. Another tank is going to be required. This battlecopter did go up north, so there's no anti-air to help engage it. This anti-air will have to find a way to escape from this tank. But Kindle does have a battlecopter up here. Control that infantry unit there. And Kindle's going pretty aggressive with here. Anti-air will not be reading the battlecopter and unlikely to take out that tank in one turn. Both players have 15,000. Artillery, infantry, battlecopter. This tank will be a range to protect these infantry units there, so try to pick one of them off is not likely. Kindle does surround her battlecopter, at least from this side, in order to protect it from the other battlecopter. Anti-air is out of range as well, so not like you can just use the anti-air to create an opening with the battlecopter, strike the battlecopter. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry. Battlecopter, infantry. Got a decent core infantry down south by Eagle. And as well, his infantry is completely and utterly ordinary. Battlecopter does get some good strike there. Takes off Eagle tank there. But I think Eagle overextended here. After all, we do have convict forces here. Spam bot. Remind me to get rid of, to ban that person. Tank, infantry, battlecopter. I say this make it a little bit messy for Kindle. If she can take out this infantry unit there, then she can get a tank on top of the city for a big booster strike. Taking out this infantry should be pretty easy, then the anti-air could strike it. But will... In actuality, it needs to be on top of the city to strike the battlecopter. I think Kindle can make some pretty good plays here. I'll use the infantry unit there, or the battlecopter to hit that infantry unit. Does use the battlecopter to strike the tank there. Use the tank to get a boost strike there. But try to break through here. Looks like she does find an opening to get to the battlecopter. Very nice. Tank strikes infantry there. Artillery is going to be simply in range. Got two more battlecopters and a tank here, but we do have a tank and anti-air over here. It feels going pretty well for Kindle in the center of the map. It'll soon be Eagle's turn. He does have access to a lightning driver, which we'll likely not see this entire game. Kindle can pop an Urban Blight. She can gauge the damage it will inflict. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. On this, Eagle park the tank next to the tank on top of the city there, and with Urban High Society. There could be an argument to say for High Society. Let's see right now. Kindle is behind by a decent amount of value. Good turn there by Eagle. Kindle, if she pops High Society, she'll get 17 times 3, which is 81% increased firepower globally for all units, plus 130% firepower from attacking from cities. And she pops High Society. This will be massive. Yeah. Look at that. Kindle's superpower is good. It's just that her regular power is excellent. And she did capture the property, so she has actually 18, so it's 84%. But still. Oh, that was an easy one shot as well. That's actually, even without the city bonus, that's probably 200%. Pretty close. That's an easy one shot. Even well, she can take some really powerful cages. Lightning Strike is available. I wonder how... Yeah, High Society is definitely the correct call. She has to do as much damage as possible to reduce the effectiveness of the Lightning Strike. Because right now, Eagle's Lightning Strike is going to be good, but not going to be excellent. After all, for Lightning Strike, he has access to 2 battlecopters and potentially this tank. And may for a double turn, then probably a single turn made with a stinking battlecopter. This may not go super great for Eagle, the Lightning Strike, but I think he has to go for it. And here comes a lightning strike. Yeah, just ignore the 1 health battle copter. Find something to machine gun it. Good strike there. Anything that stays alive will receive pretty good retaliation damage though, because Kindle is supercharged or super powered. That was a pretty good lightning strike overall. Into turn 70,000, Kindle has starts turn 49, so she's a bit battered, bruised, and beaten, but she has counter units nearby certain units. That tank won't be able to do much, but she can get a good strike on this tank here. One of these battle copters can easily go down to this anti-air. Pulls back the tank there. Not sure it'd be a good idea to do that. Can do a black bolt. Did not try to push forward. This is not a live league. This is global league. I'm a little bit unsure why not to charge forward. That is cost effective trade. Maybe it's just not cost effective enough. And there's no black bolt repair there as well. That was a weird turn for Kindle. She was not in a good position, that is for sure. Their income is equal, so 63%, 68. She's playing defensively right now. It'll be very far before another superpower, and remember as well, she can rely on her power rather than Eagle. It looks like Eagle's starting to regroup down south. Anti-air. Battlecopter infantry. Anti-air. Slowly moving down south. She's starting to stabilize a little bit there, and the value difference is evening out. Takes out a couple of these tanks there. This one barely stays alive, but keyword on barely. She will need to send her battlecopter to hit this battlecopter likely, but this anti-air would be in range, and if the battlecopter tries to get a boost strike on from the city, it will still be in range. So it looks like Eagle got a free strike there, and Kindle does go ahead and resign there. This anger is saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see, that was a little bit more short expected. I think because it was 2 bases rather than 3 bases. It was 17 days, so. Give me a moment to fix this. I think this will do. Greetings everyone, and Gary here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. It's on the north side of the right side as the Yellow Comet Javier, we got Grey Goo. On the left side as the Black Hole Adder, we got Tesla 246. Here's just the part where I just switch the player to Gray Sky, but Gray versus Black Hole is a little bit too similar colors. Either way, let's get started. This is a 2-base map of a Ford Airport and Ford comm towers. Javier matchups are always quite interesting. Of course, he does get increased effectiveness from comm towers, get additional 10% defense per comm tower. Additionally, he does get a plus inherent 20% increase in resistance to indirects, which actually makes so indirect units are just not really viable versus Javier. However, this is Adder. Adder is, of course, a mobility seal, which I don't think he goes for artillery all too often. If he does, it goes for a limited amount, which should be fine versus Javier in limited amounts. course, we got this black boat, being a bit of a, not roadblock, a shore block. And Javier did go straight for the airport here, so we may see some early battlecopter deployments. There's 9,000 income, so you can go for battlecopter infantry. What I meant is he had 12,000 in the bank. And he has gone for battlecopter infantry. And looks like Adder's going to counter out with not an A tier, but with a medium tank. That's interesting. Battlecopter infantry. So Javier's going for a decent number of battlecopters. Anti-air needs to be summoned this turn. Anti-air has been deployed in the center of the bottom part of the map. Infantry up here, leaving 6,000 in the bank. And takes time to strike the infantry unit there, gets a free pick there. Just like a chess game, getting a free pawn. Anti-air infantry for Javier there, so he leaves some 6,000 in the bank for himself. And he's going to surround the battlecopter. But he hasn't surrounded him, at least from this side. But he can just simply go up more north into this anti-air here. So he may have good enough coverage. Actually, yeah, look at this. I think he is surrounded enough. If you look at the battlecopter movements, he has to go way over here, which that... Okay, there's this tile here that's safe enough for him to escape to. No, he will not escape to it. Got this other one in range as well. So I think the battlecopter is pinned. You will need to focus on something that will create a bigger opening, which is simply not a possibility. So it looks like Adder managed to ensnare himself a free battlecopter. Also, Javier has to put a battlecopter way over here and be ultra annoying. We got triple anti-air deployment by Adder there. And this battlecopter is going down. It may have been better to actually hit this medium tank. At least get a bit more valor than taking out infantry unit there. So great play there by Adder, ensnaring himself a free battlecopter. And that's a bomber. I was not paying attention to how much money Adder had. That's a bomber. Before turn 9. Or on day 9. Usually you want to get an anti-air out just to counter out an early battlecopter. But no. Javier needs that early anti-air to counter out an early bomber. That's a lot of captures. Right now Javier's at 24,000 versus 19. You will need to back with this battlecopter. Probably a bit more south. Got another anti-air here. Adder's anti-air play is actually quite good. After all, he has to put the battlecopter here, I think. Like, Adder's anti-air play has just been phenomenal. That's a little bit risky. But I don't think I see anything to double tap this infantry unit there. So that's probably a safe enough deployment. So that's a much better spot than I was thinking. But a little more risky, but I think the risk is safe enough, as you can see there. Bomber hits a black boat, leaves on the 1 health. I don't know how much damage a bomber does to a black boat right now. Wait, what? Oh wait, that's sitting... Did I click on the infantry unit? My bad. Need a high luck roll in order to get the 1 shot. Now the medium tank's there to finish off either way. And likely... Yeah. So, looks like it's not a bad luck, or not high enough luck roll. It was still planned to be killed. And we got this black boat here to 9 use of the seaport as well. Battlecopter does get down behind this mountain. Another battlecopter. Javier has been very happy with battlecopters. But he may need a harder counter to that bomber. He does have a good net of anti-airs, but there's still the medium tank a problem. He has an artillery and tank to deal with it. But the medium tank and bomber is still a threat, and does have the anti-air for some escort in case there's a fighter comes along. Neo tank infantry, Adder is just eyeing for the valuable. Adder's teched up, Javier's playing around with battlecopters. Definitely an interesting dynamic, that's for sure. Adder or Javier has now deployed out Eden Neo tank. And managed to squeeze another battlecopter with an infantry. Medium tank will strike that tank there in range of the artillery. Side slip? Okay, so this is a calculated side slip. Infantry unit does not get any damage there. Stuns up the artillery piece there. Bomber nukes the artillery piece. Medium tank strikes the anti-air. I am concerned about the anti-air striking the bomber. It suggests it won't be able to range it. I think that's forested. Okay, it does also help surround as well. Taking out the anti-air is not going to be easy. Only a single tank here. Okay, so I feel the more I look at it, the more safe I believe that bomber is. This feels really close to that anti-air. Javier can bring in a tower shield. Could save for tower power. He either remembers, well, each time he pops a power, superpower, he gets either additional +10/+10. So he either gets +20/20 or +30/30. +20/20 seems a bit more appealing since it will give him leftover charge and perhaps 1-2 punch as well. Does pop the tower shield there, so going for the +20/20. There's not anti there, so one of these battlecopters will go down next turn. Artillery strikes that infantry unit there, preventing the flip, takes that infantry unit down there. Javier's backing off up north. And Javier deploys out his own bomber and infantry. Insert 127,000, Adder starts turn to 113. He also saved a decent amount of funds, so we can see something valuable here. Maybe just medium tank. Does hit on the battlecopter. Oh! Tower shield saved the battlecopter. Was at 1 health. He can always merge from the 9 health battlecopter if so chooses. And he also will sack the anti-air with the it will be hit by the artillery. And Adder's now deployed out stealth. Ooh. Yeah, Javier needs to deploy out a fighter next turn. He also has 27,000 income versus 22. Needs to go for fighter, help him deal with both the stealth and the bomber. Bomber strikes the anti-air, does take a bit of damage there, goes for the fighter immediately, does want to make sure he doesn't accidentally forget it. Did emerge there as I predicted. Units rotating around. Got decent artillery cuff range for Javier. Blackcoat settled down south, causing issues. 20 fuel remaining. Stealth, of course, stealths. Another tower shield's available. And we do have a T-copter by Adder. I think he's going to try to make a grab for his opponent's island cities. Artillery sitting along the shoreline. I think he's prepping for a Normandy landing, right? But he's supposed to Conquistador Spanish, and he wasn't in World War II then. Artillery and anti-air battlecopter. The fighter is in range, of course, of the bomber and stealth. Has to keep it careful, safe in the anti-airs, but they're way down south and one way up north. So Adder's anti-air coverage is not adequate enough. Does go up north, and he's going to be protecting the bomber with the anti-air. He did added the flip property there, so it's at 26 versus 25. Huh. Suggests to me there's a neutral property somewhere. Is there still despicably neutral? The seaport. Also, Javier doesn't have too much to protect this southern flank. This could be smashed. Anti-air, of course, accident versus infantry. They saw that one infantry there with the artillery barrage. Battlecopter, artillery, anti-air. Bombers here, which could be bait for the stealth. And the stealth is in range of the bomber, but won't be able to one-shot it, so will remain spotted then. Nope, got another side slip. Let's see how well this goes. Another stealth. Oh, how nasty is this adder? I'll push down south with battlecopter and anti-air. The anti-air will be just fine, so able to zone up the airport. Adder's making excellent progress down south. Anti-air and APC. That makes sense to help refuel these stealths. If he follows the moon's APCs, he will have an idea of where the stealths are. It is in range, just remember, -1, so it can move to right here. Bomber strikes the infantry unit there. Trying to flip some properties. And the black boat's right over here, 4 fuel remaining. I think it does consume 1 fuel per turn. So, Javier can send an infantry unit there to capture that properties. It will pay for itself eventually. This stealth will be out of range of this one here. Of course, now Adder has 2 stealths in the field. Probably should have resupplied that first. Takes out that battlecopter, no problem. Has 15 fuel remaining, so needs to be refueled next turn. Stop the airport. Killer can get a range the airport. Bomber does strike there. We've got now a tower of power available, giving +30/+30, which may be necessary. Definitely help take out the bomber. Another stealth. Oh, this adder. He is showing no mercy. There's 3 stealths on the field. I don't think I've ever seen this many stealths on the field at once. And not to mention, this is adder, not a colon. So just tower shield, went for the power, give him 1-2 punch capability. Neotank did not take a shot at the black boat, which would give him 1 power charge. And Javier goes for a mega tank. With a number of stealths in the field, how much damage does a stealth do to a mega tank? First off, let's remove the power. Second off, let's put on planes. Not too much, actually. So I think the mega tank is definitely a wrong call. But still, it can resist a beating from those stealths, that's for sure. Does take out that medium tank. Try and zone out up here. Does have multiple anti-airs in range of the airport. Black boat has been sunk. Oh, what was that? Sorry. How? Jeez, that I think that's largely self-supported because of the Tower of Power there as well. I don't know why. I thought the medium tank would live. I didn't think it would die to that. And here comes a Sidewinder. Javier does have 200,000 fuel. Even though it feels like Adder is in good position, Javier does have the advantage, but now he comes to superpower for +2 movement. Needs to resupply this stealth immediately. And trying to capture multiple properties down south. Stealth right. Stealth. I think as well, he knows the stealth, but the fighter could run into the other stealth. There's a 4th stealth by Adder. Oh, how nasty is this? Megatank does spot the stealth there, of course. And he has to use a fighter, but he only has a single fighter in the field, and his airport's being captured. Javier has to make this single fighter he can. This fighter is now a critical asset for him to deal with all these stealths. Another thing that Javier could do is snipe the APC. That's a critical asset for Adam right now. He also needs another stealth up, or another APC up here. The fighter did not charge forward to engage that. Does have more income right now, Javier. Though a couple profits just got flipped, so never mind. Let's see. This does range the airport. I think as well he could deploy something there to bait out the fighter. But it has to be something heavier than a T-copter or battlecopter, since the battlecopter with support, say, a Megatank machine gun will clear out the airport. I think he could perhaps eye a bomber down here. So stealth on top of the airport could be another possibility. Megatank does park itself on top of the airport. It feels like Javier according to this has more battle in the field, but it feels like Adder is in a much more commanding position. He has dictated how this battle is going to go with all these stealths in the field. But of course, it is technically behind, but it feels like Adder's in a better position. It's one of the cases where everything suggests Javier's winning, but everything in my mind is saying Adder's winning. He is the one who's dictating the course of battle for all these stealths. Is he going to do... He sees the APC move there. This should alert him to the fact there's a stealth near this APC next to it at least. The stealth's at 18 fuel, so that will need to be resupplied. The other one's 30 and 40, but the 40 doesn't really matter. And yeah, I think Javier's literally has his fighters escort just to protect this airport. He needs to recapture the airport to get out another fighter. Javier is, I think, starting to dictate the game, trying with this advance on this airport, because this is a critical thing he needs to start recapturing. He's brought 2 Neotanks and Megatank for it. And the number of stealths on field, I think Adder been a bit too passive these stealths. He could be a bit more aggressive. Stealths do decent versus fighters. So he could take some hits there. I mean, right now, if he were to, say, sack a stealth in order to take out the fighter, he will have complete air superiority with his stealths. So I think at this point in time, once he captured the southern airport, he should have been hyper-aggressive with stealths and start having the stealths hunt down the fighter, because at that point in time, they're expendable. They'd be a bit more expendable because the fighter is a critical, irreplaceable asset during that time frame. I think Adder was a bit too passive there, but now Adder has 2 Megatanks on the field. Did I forget to mention this as standard funds? and not Hyphens, and he has 2 Mega Tanks and 4 Stealths on the field. He does resupply the fighter, I understand, and this airport has been reclaimed. Oh, we got a T-copter here. This could be a bait T-copter, out of range of battle copters. I'm just so used of T-copter dropping something off always. Never seen just retain a garrison. As stupid as a thing to say there. This stealth, as well as the stealths, would have free reign up here. After all, there is only 1 fighter on the map. And he's got a 2nd fighter. There's another fighter. Stealth strikes Neo Tank, very nice. Gets half of his health down. Another Neo Tank up there to help clean up this region. Mega Tanks are slowly advancing. There's a good artillery line by Javier as well. Remember, Javier does have great indirect resistance, that's why Adder's not gone for any indirects at the moment. Another infantry. And of course now he does have 3 fighters in the field. Yeah, I think Adder could have been far more aggressive. He's forming up everything in a line there. This may give indication that there's a stealth there. The problem is he needs to have 2 surface area to reach them, so these stealths are perfectly safe. Adder cannot engage either of them because there's nothing there to spot him. Another fighter, 4 fighters on the field. Infantry as well. Adder's turn. Drops that capture again. Battlecopter. Medium tank. Looks like Adder's starting to migrate up north. Infantry spans way forward. Artillery, T-copter, so a bit of fun stored on up by Javier. And looks like Adder does go ahead and resign. Yep, I think he missed his opportunity. If when he had both airports captured, he should have been hyper aggressive themselves. He could lose one, but if he was able to kill off the fighter, then his remaining stealths would just simply dominate and just constantly raining down damage. Either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Oops. Actually hit my YouTube subscription button. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. I was trying to say Days of Ruin. It's on the north side as the purple, or no, Spawn down south as a purple lightning Kindle, we got Copper 96. Spawn north side as the Amber, was it Amber Blaze? Yeah, Amber Blaze Rachel. We have Thomas Maximus. This map is a double base map, but of course player 1 starts with no bases in the map, while player 2 does start with a base. We'll have a bit of economic lead. This initial setup is a little bit weird. Goes for an early, rather than infantry unit, it's an artillery piece. Yeah, this initial opening is a little bit weird. Trying to break on out of here. Artillery trying to get in range. Infantry on top of the mountain could spot it. Of course, it's going to top the city there. So we'll be in range. The tank will spot the artillery piece though. Tank will continue to spawn this tank right here, but if it pulls back right there, it would be out of vision range. Got another artillery piece up here now. And now we'll start bombarding that tank there. Tank infantry. Leaves that pipe scene down to 24 health. And that tank has gone down. Puts around this pipe scene there, which does prevent units from quickly escaping. We have to go through a forest and plains over here. So wheeled units will be slowed down pretty quick, while the track units will be only slowed down by a single forest tile. Plus destroying this will help a bit more getting the center as well. Tank recon. Tank has been destroyed there as well, giving both players 7,000 funds of power charge, or right now 10,500. Huh. I don't want to provide 7,000. Maybe I'm mistaken. Anti-air here. Recon. Candles on top both of those calm towers. Keeping them nice and safe for now. Recon will strike the infantry unit there. And got another anti-air infantry. Rachel could deploy a battlecopter this turn. Takes out that recon with a nice strike. And Kindle will only be able to retaliate with one tank. Other units can start rotating over here to provide some cover with support, but right now Kindle or Rachel does have 3 tanks center, while Rachel or Kindle one has the 1. Oh, that was one is in range. My bad. I completely miscalculated. And that tank down to 1 health will be repaired up to 4. Remember, Rachel gets +1 day-to-day repair. It makes it a bit more usable than 3 health. 1 health more usable. There's the pipe scene there with the battlecopter. Kindle's now at 5 health all across both those tanks there. And we'll finish off that tank there. Urban Blight's now available, as well as a Lucky Lass. We probably won't see, or is it? Yeah, Lucky Lass, not Lady Luck. Rachel's, of course, more of a superpower CO. Kindle's more of a power CO, but her superpower is still quite good. Pops Urban Blight there. And we'll strike this tank, recon, and the black boat. And looks like there's 1 infantry unit way over here as well as here. Finish off that unit there. Trying to flip it properly there. Tank, tank. Interrupts that capture. Thing as well, Kindle can always pull off this property and get a boost strike onto that recon. Same thing with Calm Tower. Rachel's trying to capture up her Calm Tower as well. Does have a pair of tanks. Give me a moment to open up my drink. Recon will get a strike there. and decides to pick off that recon there. I probably would have took time and strike this tank there. We've got a very good core of tanks being brought in for both sides now. Kindle does have what appears to be just large number of tanks there. Wasn't this one still idle there? Let's get a strike on that artillery piece there. There's a good strike there. Tank pushing up north. Oh, that's just the pathing there. Goes up around, can't go straight up. That's why it was a tank there. Covering fire is almost available. That will do some severe damage. And there's covering fire available. First one will strike what? Foot soldiers, right? Let's see. Kindle's rockets. Foot soldier HP, unit value, HP value. So foot soldier HP will likely strike maybe right here? Could be right here, but I have a feeling it's going to be right here. Then greatest total value, which could be striking right here. Will definitely strike right there. And for the maximum or HP value, could also strike right there. That's what I'm guessing. Here, here, then here. I guess a bunch of weight turns there. Didn't move. No cover fire just yet. Oh. Looks like these tanks got triple tapped there, so I'm not so sure exactly where it landed, but I feel like it got these guys pretty good. Oh wait, no, yeah, 9-1, so this had not be struck by 2, but it had to be struck by all 3. So one of them, I think, yeah, it looks like one of them landed right here, hit these 2 units, and hit her own tank and artillery, or anti-air. So that is a pretty good call there. Urban Blight can be summoned this turn. Rachel ends turn from 95. Kindle starts turn from 58, so she's pretty far behind. Urban Blight can be summoned. Mean to straight forward. Captures the property. Gets the battlecopter there. Brings forward that tank there. Recon infantry, and looks like no Urban Blight this turn, which result her capturing up 2 more properties, which one of them is a flip. Anti-air, of course, is severely damaged. Even for Urban Blight, they'll have tar time putting more damage from that to battlecopter. But for Urban Blight, keep booster strike from the city, probably do up to 10 damage. At most, probably not 20. But still be a good idea to do it? Yes. Would it be excellent? No. Just okay. Also, Rachel has captured contact. Kindle has not yet captured contact. Pops Urban Blight, which will, of course, wound the Black Book in. Hits battlecopter tank infantry. This tank is at 1% health. This infantry is at 1% health. Does hurt the flipping property. Huh. Moves a tank on the top of the city. I am curious, though. Oh, it does nice even 22. I will probably do that. Because now this tank's also now in artillery range, so that's not a very good placement there, that tank, to say the least. Battlecopter infantry. Kindle's turn. Rachel ends turn 113. Kindle starts turn 84. Okay, so that recon. It's not that one infantry unit. Good strikes there. Takes out the artillery piece, which is probably a good idea. Striking one of these tanks mean they'll be in range of the artillery. Anti-air infantry. Good strikes the battlecopter there. Well, triple taps that medium tank, almost one-shots it. And Kindle's left flank is still disintegrated. Bring forward a 5 health anti-air, but will be out of range of everything. Battlecopter versus battlecopter. Not looking good for Kindle at the moment. She does have a okay presence on the right side of the map, but it's just that on the left side, Rachel has a massive presence. Pops Urban Blight at the end of the turn, softening up everything, such as this tank again. Takes on the 5 health in here, which actually is important that she still retains that. Pop still covering fire there. Oh, I got some good strikes over here. Oh yeah, that artillery went from 10 health down to 1 health, so this got triple tapped. So probably struck like here like 3 times. This one, the value one may have struck here, while the HP and Switch Soldier landed right there. So Kindle's strong side just got annihilated again by cover fire. Kindle starts turn with only 31. Rachel starts in turn of 108. Yeah, and resigned there. This anger is saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me 1 moment. My apologies, I am back. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advance Wars Days of Ruin. Not Days of Ruin, why do I keep on saying that? Advance Wars by Web Replay, spawned on the south side as the Azure Asteroid Hawk, got Star Drifter, spawned on the north side as a Black Hole Sasha, we've got Thomas Maximus. This is a triple-based map, and also not necessarily a hybrid map, but more of just a transport map. Airport in the back line as well. We got 2 bases back here, which I've seen up to 2, sometimes 3 transports to get them all traversed across. This map is quite large and has a decent amount of properties. And it's also basically 1 comm tower per player as well. As well as a comm tower along the sides as well, so this is a 2 comm tower map. It looks like Hawk's going straight for the comm tower. With the more parts of the map, the more Sasha's daily passive plus 10% income is going to be quite nice. Hawk, of course, gets plus 7 firepower, which is always quite nice as well. And Hawk actually went for double artillery. Or no, that's Sasha. Went for double artillery. Hawk has a tank down south. Got for a recon. Does get self-deployment there. Now got a recon here. And more infantry. Tank and infantry. Tank, infantry, and another recon. There's a decent amount of shores here, so good mobility for wheeled units. Got now a black boat there, and a recon. Infantry and tank there. Another lander being established. Sometimes you usually see black boat like over here, but this time it goes for lander, so you won't have to worry about any sort of can't deploy out your heavy vehicles this turn. So looks like there's a bit of difference there. Right now the incomes are quite similar. Good first strike there. Takes out a 3 artillery piece there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could retaliate. Will need this spotting though by this infantry unit. Does get tagged there a little bit and does become hit. Another tank here. Let's see if anything charges forward like that. T-copter transported, battlecopter, artillery, mech, infantry. And does not decide to get scouting there, and just waits to tank, okay? This comm has not been obtained, so right now Hawk has one comm tower advantage. These other comm towers have not been captured up as well, but Sasha's catching up her soon, and like this infantry unit will make its way over this comm tower. Take a bit of time though, got a lot of rivers and mountains. We now have a battlecopter on the field over here. So both players now have at least one battlecopter. There's an infantry unit still inside of that transport. Looks like it's partially blocked off, but I max outmines that. Yeah, it gives you a little bit more. So tank does try to tank with the artillery support as well, though Hawk will capture the comm tower, and both the central comm towers will be very nice. Blackbolt or lander is starting to sustain some fuel losses. Get some good damage there. We do have a market crash available. I'll hold on to it until Hawk gets more power charge. Sasha right now is 23,100 income. So if it suggests she has 21 properties, there's 20 properties. Battlecopter gets a good strike there, takes out that tank there. That 2 health tank could just fall back to the city, get repairs, or find a way. Pops mark crash, maybe a little bit early. She could probably wait another turn. This lander is loaded up with a medium tank and a recon, so she can probably try to push down south. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. Takes out that infantry unit right there. Shells that infantry unit as well. Good spotting from this 1 health infantry unit on top of the mountain. Since this is 1 health infantry unit, could just keep on top of that mountain for continuously good spotting. Not the best mountain to be on top of, but it is one of the few mountains on the center part of the map. And the most feasible one where that one could be. Rockets. A rocket is interesting. Generally, I don't like seeing rockets on the field. I always feel like they're just too slow. Let's see how well it goes, though. Takes that recon there. Battlecopter does get fully surrounded. I heard there's a lot of animes involving slime, so maybe Sasha should read up on one of them. Or watch, if I said anime rather than manga. Rocket and artillery does load up there. Looks like Sasha's going to have a death ball of artillery. Trying to flip that column tower now. Good strikes there. She does have access to another mark crash. She could pop it to take out this here. She did spend some money on the anti-air. And yep, so it won't be a full market crash because they're buying the anti-air. Battlecopter infantry recon. Over on the left side, it's pretty quiet for both sides. Hawk does have 3 comm towers versus Sasha just 1. Interrupts the capture. It's a good idea to interrupt the capture. Rocket is in range of this tank there, so we'll get easily one-shotted. If this recon to the region as well, we'll provide her good spotting for this medium tank and for the battlecopter. Good strike there. Join capture, so that's 8 capture progress remaining. And I think the capture will succeed. I don't think you see anything to interrupt it. A 5 health infantry unit there probably won't get 3 points of damage on that infantry unit there. May. Though, Hawk could try getting a black wave, and that would probably be enough. 1 global damage, and then it'll be 6 health. So I think a black wave is possible. Oh, I didn't see that tank in range. And the fully stops it, actuality. Well, got the rocket there. The rocket is spotted by the fact that it's not dark. So, one of those guys will go down, but it's a 4 health tank or a infantry unit at best at full health. So not great targets, just a target. Battlecopter infantry recon tank. Black waves available, so Sasha needs an eye for market crash this turn. If she does not go for market crash, Hawk should pop his black wave. Pops a power there. Tank, recon, infantry, battlecopter. Hawk starts turn 121. Sasha does have a staggering 191. So Hawk is pretty far behind. And Hawk does have muting this region. Of course, this rocket has been doing okay. Not perfect, though. Nothing super threatening. I thought, and I knew it took out 1 health machine there, allowing the battlecopter to get knocked off. And Sasha deploys out a bomber. She will base skip this turn. And decides to base skip this one over here, which may be the one you shouldn't be base skipping. Does get a little bit picked there, trying to flip multiple properties. She can interrupt both of these. We've got infantry in range as well as this tank. And the thing as well, this tank looks like it's out of range of the artillery. Though the tank is in range of this recon. So right now this recon's probably out of vision range at the moment. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank down south. Tank there. Takes out some outlying units there. Do now have the Black Wave available. She may or may not be able to get the marker crash. I think she can. Then again, there's not a whole lot here that's high value for the strike. So I think the Black Wave will be summoned next turn. Hawk's still not in a great position at the moment though. Hawk should definitely eye for Black Wave this turn. Maybe get some damage on his own units first. Pulls back some of those units there. Pops a Black Wave there. Gets a decent amount of global damage. Problem is he's still very far behind. One thing he needs more mobile units to range all the artillery. Sasha has somehow got a death blob of artillery. Got 2 artillery and a rocket. It's not necessarily a death blob, but it has so much supporting here of decent quality units as well. Does manage to strike the tank there with a rocket. I wonder if she realizes she's being shelled by a rocket. Rocket's actually getting pretty low on ammo, so an APC may be in order. 2 shots left. I suppose Hawk or Sasha can just move it forward on top of the city. $121, 215 block. Reading that wrong. Versus 149. Hawk's about 3 turns behind. Market crash is available. He sees the artillery piece there, so can't push forward the Neo tank to hit one of these tanks. So this rocket is in range of that tank now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's going to be another dead tank there. A lot of good kills there. Actually, yep. Managed to break on through. Strikes the battlecopter there. 1 health mech, managed to finish off with 1 health tank. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Neo tank's on top of a forest, but it has pretty much no escort now. You do now have a more crash there, wiping out Hawk's power charge. Recon. Battlecopter. Hawk's down 131, Sasha's at 119 or 219. Charge wave 4, getting some kills there and some good hits. Holmes has so many battlecopters in the region. The rocket is out of range of the Neo tank, but maybe a good time for the rocket to push forward and get to the top of the city to get resupplied. It needs ammo. Medium tank or light tank, battlecopter, recon, infantry. Power charge, power is available for Sasha. And the bomber finds a Neo tank. And that may be the move that will probably make Hawk resign. Now his right flank is disintegrated. Hops marker crashes there. After building stuff, that's probably a mistake there. Hawk will get his black wave, but I don't see that being useful. Yep, and Hawk has resigned when it's his turn. His Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Oh, that music just really wants to start playing over and over again. Let's see, I have one more replay available. Give me a moment. And that should be good. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side as the Gray Sky Andy, who got X, Old Man. Spawn on the south side as the Blue Moon Sonia, who got Shy Turtle 06. And this is maybe one of the best maps for Sonia, which is not saying much. Because her +1 vision range for her infantry unit means she can just sit on top of this mountain there and get full scouting. Yeah, that's it. Sonia's still not good CO, even in Fog War maps, because that bad luck. I say this bad luck of hers is horrible. If they ever do some rebalancing for the COs, I would say grabbing the ability that she has in Dual Strike of ignoring terrain stars. I don't know if it's fully ignored or partially ignored, I forget. Would be a nice way to buffer, and utilizing a cartridge counterpart, saying it's not a fan-made balance, it is a game balancing there, or official balancing idea. Of course, with this here, Sonia's infantry unit on top of the mountain does spot all 3 bases, so she has perfect scouting on the deployment, so she keep an eye on what gets put on the field. And not necessarily what angle, because of course the first unit goes down, it's just south, so she just knows it goes south. Shocker. Overall, just an infantry game, and do not tank the photo by Sonia. And this is one that this player cannot spot unless on top of this mountain here. An artillery piece there as well. This map does offer you a comm tower already captured as well as a scouted out airport in the corner. So the stealth deployment airports will be here. So this would be considered the aggressive side, since you do get hidden deployments, while the other side, of course, can get revealed deployments. Unless you're Sonia, which you just simply spot what's there. Or you place the infantry unit on top of this mountain here, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, still can't range the airport, but we'll see what goes around. Oh yep, I forgot about Sonia's hiding damage, so this may throw me off as well, since I don't know the exact possible percentage I can claim off the top of my head. So luck damage is always a bit of a problem, and she does offer plus decent damage for counterattacks, so these are counterattack damage there. Was quite equal. Prepping up a formation here, has artillery and infantry coverage, and a tank ready for ambush. And goes for a double recon down there. Does get trapped. And he's not being too aggressive over here. Does hit this infantry unit there. 5 health remaining. Makes me wonder if she has 6 health left. Battlecopter, infantry. Yep, 6 health remaining. anti-air here, because that is close to this side. You have no spotting up, so that, and the airport's already on that side, so it's a good idea to go for the anti-air. Of course, she does have spotting over here saying, hey, this airport's now being captured. Don't worry about an aircraft on this side. And now that tank does get in range of artillery, so poor placement there by the tank. Does get a tank there. Now spots this other tank. This tank will be knocked out, but there's going to be a pretty nice counterattack by Sonya, able to strike a tank in 2 tanks at least. But that will be about it. It will dampen this assault, but overall she certainly loses side, needs a battle crush in this region to help stabilize. You can see when an opponent goes for 8 years. So she can go for battle coppers and have an idea when anti-airs arrive and can simply count tiles of where the estimated locations. Good strike there. Decides to finish off that tank there. I do believe she should go. Yep, does go for battle copter tank. And can only go for 1 infantry this turn. It goes right there. I would assume we've been over here that go over here, but this one just goes over here. Tank strikes tank. Tank does get knocked on out. Hits the artillery there. Probably for what, 3 points damage or 4 points damage? You do now have the enhanced vision available. Counter Break is a pretty good superpower, honestly. It can be viewed as a bit of a lightning strike. After all, your opponent does not want to attack you when they are guaranteed to attack first. Enhanced Vision is probably not that useful right now. Well, it's down actually to 5 health. Does not take out that tank there. Get some good strikes over here. Now, Sonya does spot this anti-air there, so could go for another battle copter over here, or goes for another battle copter there. Tank infantry, she's trying to stabilize the region. Tank strikes the recon, battle copter strikes the infantry. Some infantry unit there, and now we do have a tank push way forward, and Counter Break is almost available. This tank will reign supreme. Sonya's recon scores very nicely now. It does get trapped there. Does not take the capture of the property. Takes time to kill off that 1 health infantry unit there. Of course, it is A&E, so hyper repair and upgrade are still always a possibility. And Counter Break's now available. She may wait till next turn. Pops Counter Break at the end of the turn. This will allow her to get not only great vision for this turn, but also allow her to first strike in her defensive turns. Tank, recon, and artillery. Look at that, that tank went down to 5 health, but here comes a hyper upgrade to repair that damage. Howdy, not a problem. Ugh, the counterattacking into Counter Break, it must just suck. But we do have, of course, Andy's hyper upgrade now active, which also means he gets plus 10% firepower for all units, as well as plus 1 movement, including infantry units. Even the battle coppers take a decent damage in return. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. Sonya's turn. Let's see. 3, 8, 5. Some stuff are damaged, but nothing too significant. Andy turns her for 106. Sonya starts turn for 89. So they're still pretty even. Turn difference. Battlecopter goes to the left side. Anti-air takes a battlecopter. Artillery strikes anti-air. Tank strikes anti-air. And pulls back the tank there onto the city. Of course, it can be somewhat easy to lose track of your opponent's unit health because of the Sonya's question marks. Battlecopter, recon, tank, infantry. Sonya in serve 109, 80 starts turn 85, so 80 starting to fall behind a little bit. The tank does get knocked out, anti-air gets struck there, Battlecopter there. Sonya has a lot of mechanics going for her. I think her biggest mechanics that's always pretty good is the counterattack damage. It's actually not bad as a day-to-day passive. Of course, the luck damage makes it worse. And her counter break is actually a pretty good superpower. But the problem is, I think her bad luck screws her over far too often. But of course, not like I would say nerf it and remove it. I think that removing the defense stars will still be the best option. Artillery pushing over here. May I displace the black boat into many pieces? Suddenly sort of fall back over here. They're both at 21,000 at the moment, so still pretty even. And does the 5,000 bank. So maybe Neo tank next turn? Recon, infantry. Oh, bomber. I thought it was going to be a Neo tank, but we've got a bomber in the field. I suppose with her power and super... Wait a second. Her counter break will make it so her bomber just wins versus anti-airs during that turn. Actually, Sonya bombers are actually really good. She can charge in, bomb something, and you can't retaliate her during her superpower with her bombers, at least not with anti-airs. And good luck trying to use a missile. Fighters can be quite nice, but of course always a little bit situational. Does get trapped there. Medium tank infantry. Actually takes time to destroy. Oh, it doesn't destroy the black boat there. Don't think it was a good idea to use the turn of the battlecopter for that. Bomber does get a good shot there. Does have vision of this anti-air. It is in range of the bomber, so gotta put something around it. Takes out one anti-air, which who needs to worry about it now? Here comes counter break. It can now defend itself and win. Good shot there. Tank on tank. Puts it around the anti-air. The anti-air was not a big threat. Like I said beforehand, counter break makes it so it wins. Should have put a round into one of these tanks here. Tank anti-air infantry. So, Annie has to be very careful this turn. You have to take loose engagements. I suppose versus Battlecopter, not too bad engagement there. And now I've got Hyper Upgrade. There's a decent amount of wounded units, but mostly just wounded infantry units. This course can help him recover health from the counter break. Somehow, Andy is a pretty good counter to Sonya now, think about it. Able to counter out the counter break with a superpower. Sort of weird. Here comes Hyper Upgrade. Goes from 96 to 114. Huh. That's sort of broken. Oh, N-A-N, because of the question marks. Oh yeah, me going forward and backward actually reveals the question marks. Is it considered revealing if I'm saying reveal a question mark? It is a pretty good swarm of battlecopters here by Andy, so she needs so we will nuke out some anti-heroes help to fight against it. There's the capture course. Andy right now has 25,000 versus 19, so he's lost a lot of ground. All of her powers and effects are defensive rather than offensive, so can't really use them to get a massive edge, though Andy has no day-to-day as well. I wonder how much of the bad luck has been playing a role. It's hard for me to keep an eye, but I think there was a bit of bad luck there. And all the ATRs are down this region. Knows about the fighter, though. Another ATR infantry and tank, and resign. A sand grade saying, keep watching, and on to next replay. Let's see now. That is my last replay I had in my queue. I can probably try to find one more. Give me a moment if I can't find something relatively quickly. I'll just try to do a live league. Let's see. View completed games. Why does it feel so unresponsive today? Try to find something. $23, mirror matchup. I don't like doing mirror matchups. 21, mirror matchup. 19. Yeah, this will do. This will be my last replay for tonight. And that shall do. Level 1 and great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the top side as the Green Earth Rachel, we got Claudio. Spawn on the south side as Yellow Comet Lash, we got Low Elo Nobody. I just realized I'm going to probably make this a little bit larger. And yeah, that should be good. A little bit larger. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This is a live league game. We got triple base down south, triple base up north, of course, as a counterpart. We do have an airport there next to a pipe scene, but you can't deploy pipe runners and pipes from airports. But if we do have a hot sheet, you can always pull a pipe runner onto this pipe scene here through the city with a superpower. This map does offer Paracom towers as well. Forces infantry game does get this capture up right there. This map does seem like a decent amount of roads, so wheeled vehicles are a bit more of a possibility. Got tank and mech here. Mech will sprint across the river somehow. Mech infantry. So got not really skipping out. So we got mech play by Lash, which is interesting. We'll help them go across rivers relatively quickly. Got a bit of a long path around or through some forests. And of course, everybody knows tanks can't go through forests. That's what World War II taught me, right? Just ignore the Ardennes multiple times. We now got our double artillery there, so it looks like Lash is going for a symmetrical approach. The asymmetrical Rachel's going for some pair of tanks up there. Got 15 to 16 minutes for both players to stockpile a decent amount of time, trying to flip a property and capture some despicable neutral properties here. This property will be easily interrupted by infantry unit there. The mech should probably keep its distance there. I don't think the mech is going to be super great. They'll have trouble running away, so the mech overall seems like a bad deployment over here versus all the infantry. The mech will at least start putting some pressure over here. maybe not top of forest, maybe try for the city for itself. Does use the mech into the capture there. Oh yeah, it's also, now think about it, Lash did get a 4-star attack boost from the mountain down the city versus 3-star defense, so Lash's did passive was actually pretty useful there. Rachel starting to push down south with a good core of tanks. Mech getting hit pretty hard there. Tank. Over here, we do have 39,000 versus 51, so Lash is starting far behind. Artillery gets a good strike on the infantry unit there. We saw the infantry unit there thanks to the boosted strike from the mountain. Got a Kindle level boosted strike. Good strike there as well. Battlecopter infantry, tank. So Rachel was going to start getting anti-air. Maybe deploy anti-air here, so go left or rightwards. This tank did get a good strike on the artillery, but this tank, of course, can retaliate. That's probably what we should do. Maybe put the artillery back on top of the HQ or on top of the city. Let the mech get on top of the other. But of course, we got 2 tanks here as well. Battlecopter heading to the center as well. Let's go strike there. Has supported this tank and the battlecopter, so this tank needs to fall back. Anti-air is a little bit lagging behind. Mech trying to flip this property. It's 17 versus 14, so Lash is starting to stabilize. It's day difference. Tank, and infantry. Tank does strike the tank. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Got a 17 versus 16. Rachel then turns 67. Lash starts to turn 62. So Rachel only has a slight advantage. Artillery did strike that tank there. And finish off the tank there. Does interrupt the capture of that property. And does interrupt the capture of that property. And finish off that unit there. Got a artillery, anti-air, infantry. Got a tank here. We do have a Look Glass available, which is not going to be useful. Rachel's more superpower CO. And her superpower could be very devastating. One of the missiles will strike infantry, which will likely strike over here. Another will strike a value, which will likely strike over here. And the last one will go for accumulation health, which will likely strike the infantry once again. Got to capture it there and there. Rachel is, of course, being a bit more aggressive. Let's got that unit there. And remember as well, Rachel does have 3 health regen per turn, so this tank will be up to full health next turn. I have a feeling this infantry unit may go over here, try to machine gun it down, then try to machine gun it down, and let the anti-air to strike the battlecopter. That's my guess over here. Lash is starting to fall behind. Rachel has 18. Did take it out, and does take out the battlecopter there. May see covering fire this turn. Very likely it will do severe damage. Missile here. Is this missile a bait missile, the covering fire? Is that worth it? The value would definitely strike here right now. I don't know if a missile's worth it. Oh! It did not hit the missile whatsoever. 2 definitely did struck over here because everything's down to 4 health. Definitely the infantry and HP. While the value one looks like struck over here. And that greatly called out difference. We could see a prime tactics next turn. But there's nothing much here to really utilize a prime tactics. And in fact, a whole lot of nothing. A 7 health tank versus 3 tanks. Not looking good for Lash over the left right flank. That superpower was devastating. Prime tactics will likely be brought in this turn. Yeah, it feels like also all the indirects over here is really slowing down Lash. Looks like no prime tactics this turn. A missile is a horrible option. I mean, this is literally a fifth of her value in the field, this single missile. Missiles cost 12,000, and let's just round this down to nice and even 60,000, because it's going to be like that relative soon. And that'd be, 60,000 divided by 12,000 is, of course, 5. So that missile's literally 1/5 of her value, and that's horrible. Tank there. Tank. There comes the Prime Tactics. Let's see how this goes. Mech gets a booster strike on that recon, doing great work there. The missile is advancing, ready to shoot down some civilian airliners. Does get some great booster strikes over on the left side though. And the artillery, of course, are nice, but they're pretty slow. Goes for artillery, tank, infantry. Missiles within minimum range of the the battle cruiser within minimum range of the missile. Not to mention it's getting hit by tanks. Though the double defense D stars made it have 6 defense stars there, able to see quite a bit of beating there. But there's no anti-air in this region. Picks off a lot of wounded infantry units there. One artillery, of course, in range of some infantry units as well. And with the day-to-day repairs, Lash only gets 106. At least the compound does not provide repairs in this situation. Gets a good strike across both those tanks. I do have a Lucky Lass available. Both players have plenty of time, well above 10 minutes. Does go in these tanks there. Does have anti-air to help strike this battle cop, of course, well out of range of them. And some of these artillery not being struck, though this tank will be struck next turn by the artillery. The mech could get a boost strike onto this tank here from the city. Good strike there. The problem is, the mech won't be able to get a good strike there. Of course, that's probably the best thing the artillery could have done. Leaving the tank there to get repaired on up, it's not a bad idea. But Lash shows pretty good commanding presence on the left flank. Our right flank is less to be desired, of course. But it's starting to stabilize. But here comes another covering fire. Infantry clearly right here. Actually, no, will land right here. Unit value or unit HP likely will strike around here. And value probably will strike around here. Yeah, this is not going to go. No covering fire is going to be good for Lash. She starts end of turn for 81,000 and will start and Rachel definitely should go for this covering fire. Maybe trying to manipulate with the missiles land with the HP one. And it goes on to 56, evening them out. Anti-air gets struck. Missile gets struck. And another tank gets knocked out. This artillery, of course, is in range of this tank here. May see a Prime Tactics, but she may need Croft Terrain Tactics with the +10/+10. I have no idea. Anti-air. And that was a pretty lackluster turn. Ends turn 50,000. Rachel starts turn 65, so Rachel's a pretty good advantage moment. Strikes the artillery piece there, trying to flip the comm tower. And Prime Tactics is now available. She can interrupt the comm tower capture this infantry unit there. Tank gets a pick of this tank there. Anti-air will of course be out of range. And here comes the Prime Tactics. Artillery strikes that tank there for minimal damage. It's good around into it. Interrupts the capture of the comm tower. Pushing the left flank, but this tank can simply hit this anti-hero likely. Got another artillery piece here, which is in a spot where probably gets itself face locked. Should have gone for a tank there. Needs to start pushing out immediately, not wait a turn. And anti-air. Of course, the day-to-day repairs probably can't afford both. Actually, probably should not have gone with anti-air there. This battlecopter could push forward a turn, then go with anti-air, but... Yep. I think Lasher should have gone a tank over here. And now it's going to push some properties down in the middle. Raider does pull back there. Paul just trying to get a bit of breathing room. She can pull back and be fine. Tank, infantry, tank. And Lash does go ahead and resign. That missile was definitely a horrible call. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. As mentioned before, that shall be my last replay for tonight.